This is the Greek island of Samos in the eastern part of the Aegean Sea. Samos is an island steeped in history and culture with an established upmarket tourist industry. And now it's attracting overseas property investors looking for long-term sustainable rental returns and good potential for future resales.
Well, we're very interested in investing abroad, and we'd looked at a range of countries, and when I saw something being developed in Greece, it really appealed because it's a less developed market, and when we saw the plans and the development here, it looked like it was going to be a really excellent opportunity. The facilities here are going to be absolutely first class, and when you look into what the island has to offer, the extra advantage of having all this sort of scenery and everything makes it a really fantastic location to come and holiday. We looked into the sort of reviews for the island as well, and really everyone says the same thing, it's excellent, and they tend to come back, which I think is a very good sign.
Considering the incentives which have been given by the Greek government to encourage upmarket tourism, and the fact that there have been various bubbles in property markets which have been heightened by PR in the UK, I can't think of anywhere in the world at the moment where I'd prefer to invest in Samos. Because not only is there's many things happening with the infrastructure to increase the people coming to the island, but it's so stunning and it's got such great weather and cheap, quick flights from the UK. The opportunity to get real serious capital returns is there. Whereas with some of the other markets which have been hyped over the last few years, you're wondering who's going to buy these properties off the investors.
Greece has a population of around 11 million. The official language is Greek, but English is widely spoken in all the major tourist centres. Greece joined the EU in 1981, and its economy is increasingly service-orientated, with tourism playing an important role. Samos is the 8th largest of the Greek islands at 477 square kilometres. The island has a resident population of around 35,000, and its economy depends on tourism and agriculture. The climate is Mediterranean, but the island has a remarkable range of microclimates in line with its varied geography. There are direct flights to Samos International Airport from the UK, with a flight time of 3 to 4 hours. There are also flights via Athens. The Athens to Samos flight time is around an hour. Samos is served by an extensive ferry service to other Greek islands and also Turkey.
Samos is a very quiet island, and we are well known in Europe in nowadays, and slowly I think it's getting very important destination, especially for the English market.
It's a really beautiful island. It's exceeded my expectations. There's such a diversity of things to see here, from mountains to beach and quaint villages. It's really a great place to come and visit.
Samos is one of the most beautiful islands in Greece. A lot of green, many and beautiful beaches, and nice weather.
When you get off the plane and you realise it's silent, incredibly beautiful, green, unspoilt, and there's just no noise anywhere. You rarely see any cars. You just hear waves. That's about it. As soon as you get out the car, that's the only sound. And also comparing it to other countries, there's just very little development. I'm also comparing it to a lot of other Mediterranean coastlines, so you just expect to see the seaside actually, completely built upon. Of course, because of strict planning laws here, they've managed to resist development completely.
Samos is a relatively undiscovered island. Last year, 250,000 people flew in, but when you consider that it's the 8th largest of all of the Greek islands, that's a relatively small amount. And at the moment, Samos is a very upmarket destination.
The last years, the island changed a lot. It was more traditional Greek small island, and now it became a tourist destination with a brand new airport, a nice marina. We have brand new hotels, new renovated, and it's getting better in the facilities, I can say.
Samos's viability as a long-term investment destination for overseas buyers is enhanced by its accessibility. The island's always depended on the sea, and in the 21st century, its ports are receiving an ever-increasing number of ships and ferries.
75%, I think, from the people, they use the boats, and so this is very important for us. The other people, they use airplane, but 77–76% about is the people they use for the transportation, the ports. And in this island we have 4 main ports. The plan for next year is that we will have more fast boats. Now we have very good quality boats. One of these is connecting us with the capital of Greece, Athens, in 7–8 hours. We have fast boats to Patmos, Teros, Kalinos, Kos, and the program for next year is to have more fast boats for all this connection.
This increase in the number of ferry services makes Samos an ideal base for exploring other Greek islands and even Turkey.
The first, we have the international line that connects Samos with Turkey, with Kousadasi port. This is a very important line. We have connection from Vathi port and from Pythagoreia port. During the summertime, this connection is twice or 3 times per day. And of course, we have many important domestic lines. There are many people that are coming to Samos for holidays. It's a nice island and they like to make holidays. But because this very good place for connections, there are many people coming to Samos to go then to another island, to Turkey or everywhere else. So these people, they can stay 1, 2, maybe more days, because if you see the island, it is a nice island, maybe they would like to stay more days.
Well, Samos starts the tourism in 1974 when it starts the first charter. The 75% of the economic is based on the tourism. So the tourism, it starts somewhere between end of March, beginning of April, and then we end it in October to beginning November. So we have between 70 to 88 charters per week, and some of them, they're coming, of course, from England.
Tourism's increased over the past few years, and Samos's international airport now receives flights from all over Europe, as well as daily flights to and from Athens.
In the beginning of the period, they're coming for walking. So we have some groups which they are making walking tours around the islands, because it's a very Greek island, it's a very green island. And then they're coming also in the end of the period, the same style people. In the middle of the season, they are coming people for holidays, for the sun, for the sea. We have 77 beaches around the island. Of course, we have 38 villages. And it's very nice because you can start from the sea and you can go up to the mountains, which we have 2 mountains which is quite high. The one it's 1,100 meters and the other one it's 1,400 meters. So they have a lot of opportunities for changing from the sea to the mountain and the way around, yeah.
It's important to remember that over 40% of Samos's tourists are Greek nationals, another factor underpinning the property market here.
But the most interesting and the exciting thing for us is that there's many, many Greeks buying on Samos to us, which shows that the local market is strong. And when the local market is strong, then you know that the market's a true market and not just an artificial bubble created by PR in England.
Samos has a varied and interesting landscape, and it's possible to find most types of property. One of the great advantages of the island's hilly terrain is that even inland it's possible to find properties with stunning sea views.
In Samos you can find many types of houses. You can buy an old one and you can renovate it in a village or in a town. Also there are many developers that you can buy a new one, because there are people that they prefer the mountain and some other people they prefer to be close to the sea. But in Samos, even if you are in a mountain, you have the sea view.
There seems to be a wide range of property potentially available here, but it's a very... the property market's in its very early stages here. There aren't many estate agents, there aren't many for sale signs, so I think it's quite difficult to work out what's for sale unless you have good links with someone on the island, or you have a UK-based agent who knows it and can show you what's available. I think if you just came here on your own, you'd struggle to really work out what's what. But you know, potentially you can buy old stone houses in the mountains or in little villages, or you can buy, you know, sort of some new build villas. So there's this whole gamut.
The most popular now is not close to the sea, because sometimes a lot of people going there. Is between the coast and the mountain, in the middle, for example. The clever people, now, the last years in Samos, they buy between the coast and the mountain a property.
Preserving Samos's environment whilst at the same time allowing the island to develop is a key challenge for both government and developers. Robin Barrisford is one of the developers on Samos who recognises the need for high-quality, environmentally friendly resorts. His company's about to start work on Halcyon Hills, a luxury beachfront development situated in one of the most picturesque locations on the island. He recognises that responsible development benefits Samos and attracts overseas buyers who are looking for a long-term investment.
There is an incredible responsibility on the developers who come to Samos to make sure that they don't ruin the island. Fortunately, the Greek planners are very, very strong and very strict in their regulations. Samos truly is a paradise at the moment, and with the Greek government being so strong, being so strict on the way the planning has to continue on the island, I think it will stay as it is. I think it's really important that people consider Samos as a lifestyle opportunity as well as an investment opportunity. The whole overseas property market for many years has been dominated by investment, yet the market started by people going on holiday and falling in love with the destination they were holidaying in. And the wonderful thing about Samos is when you visit here, you will fall in love with it.
Halcyon Hills is aimed at high-end, long-term investors. England international rugby players Matt Stevens and Lee Mears have both recently bought into the development.
Well, I've been to many of the Greek islands and Samos really appeals to me. You know, it's got the culture, it's a beautiful island and the prices aren't too expensive. The studio apartment we bought has its own terrace, it's very spacious. You know, every apartment on the complex has a view of the ocean and we're really pleased with it.
I think the best thing about Samos is that it's typically Greek. It's got that real slow Mediterranean lifestyle. And for guys like us who live hectic lifestyles, it's great to get away from it all, just lie back on the beach and chill out in the Mediterranean sun. The good thing about this resort is the fact that they've worked hard with the Greek government, and the Greek government aren't letting people build too much and take up too much of the space along the coast. So essentially, this is one of the only developments that's going to happen. So it stops a lot more overdevelopment on the coastline.
The food is fantastic over there, the views are spectacular, you know, the weather is fantastic and it really made us feel like we were at home.
In part 2, we'll be exploring more of Samos and asking if lifestyle property investment is now becoming more important to buyers than the search for a quick return.